Alright, it's your boy No One Really, and I'm back with another one. This time we're going to be taking a look at Transfuser 2. Basically, you can call it a synth, you can call it a slice or a sampler, you can even call it an effects engine. Of course, I didn't know all that going in, but that was part of the challenge, One VST, see what I can make, just messing around. And, we're going to take a look at a couple of the sounds, see what we can pull together. And just show you what I did, and the sounds I chose and everything like that. As always, everything you hear in the background, as far as the instrumentation, comes from Transfuser. So, again, this is Transfuser 2 by Air Instruments. Let's get into it. All right, so we're gonna take a look at the first sound now. The dope thing about Transfuser is that it comes with a large catalog of like pre-made loops. So, if I slide over here, basically I can show you what I'm talking about. So, we'll start off out here now. This is like a little sound bank where everything pretty much is. So, you got drum tracks, you got guitar cuts, bass, even synth lines, and keyboard lines, string lines, a lot of different things. And so what's cool is that like you could go through and you could just start, testing out different things. So what I did was, I'm not sure, but the guitar was one of the ones that stood out to me. I'm not sure why, but I just wanted to see what they sounded like. And I went through and I just started clicking around. And what's pretty cool is like as I do this, you'll see like most of these will come in like pretty much matching to what I did already. And I'm gonna go down here and I'm gonna pick latch just so we can hear it, and it'll just keep going. Now, it don't really fit this, but it's in time though. So I just click through. It's kind of funky. So if I wanted to add that in, I could. And you see how like it's automatically playing this low note right in context. Oh yeah. And then it also gives you the key signature. So, that's pretty cool. So basically, I went through and I, look at this here. All of these different cuts you got an option for. And so being able to tell you the key signature. Boom. Like, pretty much I'm in C minor. So I'll give you a little bit. If you was liking that and you wanted to throw that in, it's nothing. And I can minimize this here just for context sake. So, it's pretty much that easy. And if, here's a little section over here where I can mix it in, and do it just like that. So it's not overpowering the other sound if I want to use it, but I don't. So I can just close it out just like that and basically bring back my other mode. And I just wanted to show you that. And so basically, I went through and this was one of the first sounds that I chose. I feel like it had a very pimped out type sound, like soulful, and I just went with it. So with that, let's get into one of the next sounds. Alright, so like before, I was looking for something to support that. And, as I was clicking around, this was the next one. And this pretty much became the driving force of the whole track. And so I just was, I feel like it definitely had this 70s vibe and the whole feel. So, I was like, this was a no-brainer. That's what I'm saying. Like, messing around with this is really easy to get, an idea down pretty fast, and they have so many different sounds, so many banks that it's pretty easy to just do something. Like for instance, I'll show you one more time. So let's go to these acoustic perks real fast. And I don't necessarily have to do an acoustic perk, but you know, let's say I wanted to try like add some congos. Now, I didn't use this in the track, but you know, I could have. I contemplated on throwing some percussion in, you know, messed around with it a little bit. But look at it, like it's right there in it, It's in pocket already, and I didn't even do nothing. I mean, it's for free, pretty much. So, you know, with that being said, you know, we can get into the next sound. I hope y'all seeing how easy it is just to start messing around, and you know, let's get to the next one. All right, so one of the next sounds I used was the bass. Now, for this one, I didn't really want to go with a pre-made bass line. You know, I was looking for something really specific, and what I was glad to find was that I was able to do just that. Now, granted, a lot of the things that when you click around is definitely already got like pre-made loops on top of it, but if you come down to polyphrases, you actually get an opportunity to use the synth engine. And so what's cool is that Transfuser comes with a slew of different textures that you actually can use. And so what I was able to do was to take one of those, switch it over to play notes. And once I played notes, I got out of that mode that you play slices, which is usually found under trigger phrase or transpose phrase. And basically, transpose phrase kind of works like if you press a key, it'll play the whole loop, and trigger and it'll like play it on the note that you're on. So if it's in C minor and then you move up a whole tone by pressing another key, it'll play in that respective key. So it'll shift the pitch, basically. It'll shift the pitch. And then trigger phrase essentially trigger the one shots of that loop, but it'll stay in the same pitch. So it'll still play the loop, but it'll just stay in the same pitch. And then play notes will actually play each slice. And in this case, it let me play like a whole C note, or you know, whatever respective note I was using. And so I was glad to find that. And then by using the synth engine, I was able to come in and select a sub note, a sub bass, which was nice, which I layered under the physical sample to give it a little bit more low end. And so, you know, that came in handy. Now, what's really cool is that it also comes with effects. And so you have quite a few to choose from. You have a beat crusher, you have chorus, compressor, delay, distortion, which I loaded up on this sound just to give it a little bite. You have things like enhancers, you got different filters, flangers, gates. You even have like a kill EQ, which basically lets you just immediately like nullify certain frequencies. And then you got like a lo-fi, you have a maximizer. I mean, you know, you have a lot of different options. And so let's just take a look at this distortion real quick, just so you can hear how it kind of sound. And again, that's on the sub. So I'm mute. Boom. And they have different models too. So I'm just trying to give you a sense of, you know, how this thing vibe out, you know, how it works. And like you got a lot of chances and a lot of opportunities for experimentation to find the sound that you're looking for. And It's really nice like that. So that right there gives you a little taste of how some of the effects and ways that you would use them um, in Transfuser 2. So with that, let's get into the next one. All right, so the next sound we're gonna take a look at is the keys. Now this is pretty cool because again, I was looking for something specific, a very like laid back melody, and I try to come with the progressions or whatever. And you know, I was clicking through the keys, and it's really got some dope things, some options, but nothing that really kind of sound like this. And so, but I give you an idea of like some of the moves that they have in here, just so you can hear it and see again. Just want to underline it, like, and I'm just clicking, just messing around, like, you know. Yeah, that was a little off, but so I really like this one. This genre here was so dope. But it wasn't what I was looking for. And again, like the library, it's got a lot. So if if you just want to get something, just play around. Like it's got plenty of stuff to choose from. So it's pretty dope in that way. Now I definitely got to go over uh, the synth engine real quick. And I just want to show you. So you got two different options. So you got something called uh, default. DEF stands for default, and then you have poly analog, and you also have polyelectric. Now, when I found this sound, again, I reached into the poly phrases and I stripped it down, and I started to play. So, watch this. I'm about to drop this in. I'm dropping this poly analog, and I should have a new sound coming through, but there's just one catch. In order to start hearing it, because like you see, you getting MIDI, and you see that you're getting a few different things. Everything looks to be working, but you don't hear anything. I'll give you an example. So if I mute, I hear no sound just yet. So remember, when you add a new sound, all you really have to do is select your engine, and then come right here and hit play notes. And I can bring that out, right? Now look at that. Bam. Just like that. And show you. Boom, 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 boom. And just like that, this is how it's done, folks. And so right here with the gate, you have different things you can do. So you can touch the gate, you can touch the cutoff, you can touch the resonance, you can touch the amp, and you can even touch the pan. It's just like that. Instant, right? And so with that, just wanted to give you a brief overview of, Transfuser 2. And so, a couple of sounds I used, and we'll get into my overall thoughts and experiences with it in the next one. All right. So this has been a look at Air Instruments Transfuser 2. I hope y'all enjoyed everything that I showed you, trying to break down this VST and how you can use it in your own productions. I will say that it's pretty dope, but there's a couple of little drawbacks. I think there needs to be a clearer, like I didn't really get into it in this video, but basically like when you're trying to work with your own samples and things like that, there is a certain type of sample that it likes, and I really haven't figured it out because I've been trying to import like my own custom waves, and some work, some don't. Some one shots work, some don't. And so that's something I would like to be fleshed out a little more. Plus, like I say, like when it comes to like the samples available, it's got plenty tons, and I wouldn't take away from that at all. But I wish there was like extended libraries that you could pick up for it, to increase the already phenomenal selection that they have, in specific genres. So from hip hop to jazz to, a lot of different things. That's if I had to take away anything from it, that would be it. But as far as like what's natively in here and just using the ease of use and everything from time stretching to slicing and all of that type of stuff, it's pretty full featured. I don't know that anybody can ask for anything more. So, this was a look. I want to bring this to you, try to keep it simple and straightforward. And hopefully you saw something that, if you don't already have Transfuser 2 and you never looked at it, you see something that you like that you can use in your own productions. And so, I'm just trying to help everybody craft a little bit of greatness and do something amazing, putting my little spin on it. And that's pretty much it. This has been your boy No One Really. I'm out.